Madam President, first of all, congratulations and thank you very much for the interview. That was quite a showing. Did you expect such a result?
Well, I worked for it. I think this election and its results showed that we can build bridges, we can create alliances in a parliament, and after a campaign where there was fear of the rise of who wants to destroy Europe rather than grow, and the rise of those who do not want to believe in hope. And I carry with this, after the election result in Malta, one of trust, of responsibility, but a commitment to work very hard over the next 2.5 years.
You just said that you are the one to build bridges. A third of the Maltese MEPs did not vote Metsola. How will you build bridges with them?
Well, I speak to all of them. If I can look at the last 11 years in the European Parliament, if there's one thing that has shown us that is needed, if this election campaign showed us that it is needed, is that the 6 members, the smallest member state with the smallest number of MEPs, has no option but to work together. So I take the result as it is. Everybody's responsible for his vote. But I would also say that this shows the lack of cohesion and the complete division that is in the Labour Party today.
In your acceptance speech, you made a list of things that you hope they can make a better Europe. Do you really believe that the list that you made, that they are deliverables that can be achieved during the next 2.5 years?
Well, if I look at what we did in the past 5 years, things that we thought were unachievable, whether it is a migration pact, Artificial Intelligence Act, Violence Against Women Act, environmental legislation, all of this that we had, many doubters saying you will not manage, you will not make it, and we did. And I have to look at the next 5 years as having no choice but to respond to real citizens' concerns. How are we on housing, on pensions, on social pillar, on migration, on security? This is the house where we legislate. If we don't legislate, then we're just a talking shop. I am, I would say, always optimistic. I was involved in European politics and have been since I was about 15 years old. As we worked in Malta for Malta to join the European Union. It is those principles and values that continue to drive me, and I think today the results show that those principles work.
Okay, but what are your own priorities?
So I can say that I want to feel Malta's role more. I want to make sure that when there is legislation that is going to impact Malta negatively, we work together to mitigate those effects. I think the last 5 years we showed when either the government lost the ball, the messages got lost in translation, and therefore our citizens are now in a situation where they need to pay more than other European Union citizens. For me, it is a European Union that needs to work on values, on peace. It needs to work on tolerance, on respect, and we need to ensure as a parliament that the institutional balance, commissioners who will be nominated, what are our legislative priorities in the area of asylum, of security, of defence, of energy. Those are our priorities that we will have to look at, and it's the priorities that we need to work on.
Madam President, your term as President expires in January 2027. 2027 should be election year in Malta. Do you plan to contest the Maltese elections?
Well, we will see. I have been elected for 5 years in this European Parliament. Today I just ran another election, and it is one where I thank the commitment and the trust that Maltese and Gothitans placed in me. And it is that trust that I will continue to build on, and it is that trust that I will heed every time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.